And God went on to say, let luminaries come to be in the expanse of the heavens to make a division between the light and the darkness. Luminaries are in reference to the sun, moon, and the stars. To let luminaries come to be in the expanse of the heavens means to allow the knowledge of such luminaries to come into existence within the wide open extent of the mind of man. A knowledge that would empower one with the ability to separate the light from the darkness, the living from the dead. And they must serve as signs and for seasons and for days and years. The brain is a hollow organ in which there are 4 interconnected cavities called ventricles. These ventricles are filled with a fluid called cerebrospinal fluid. The main components of the brain are the 2 cerebral hemispheres, the cerebellum and the brainstem. Within the hemispheres of the brain are 4 significant objects that serves as signs and for seasons and for days and years. They are known as the optic nerve, the frontal lobe, the olfactory nerve, and the temporal lobe. Optics refers to the eyes or vision. The human eyes are a part of the sensory nervous system that reacts to visual light and allows us to use visible information for various purposes like seeing things, maintaining our balance, and circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythms are physical, mental, and behavioral changes that follow a 24-hour cycle. These natural processes respond primarily to light and darkness, the sun, the moon, and the stars, signs and for seasons and for days and years. Frontal lobe, the part of the hemispheres of the brain located behind the forehead that serves to regulate and or mediate the higher intellectual functions, the sun, the moon, and the stars. The frontal lobes are important for the control of thoughts, reasoning, and behavior. Frontal in meteorology is the science that deals with the phenomena of the atmosphere or weather. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Signs and for seasons and for days and years. Olfactory, of or relating to the sense of smell. The ability possessed through the aid of the nose. The nose is the part of the face that contains the nostrils and the organs of smell and forms the beginning of the respiratory tract. Breathing. The nose is the part of the face through which the breath of life is received. The nose in itself is a sign, the missing piece of the great Sphinx of Giza, who faces the temple of God and of the rising sun. By way of the rising sun, the true knowledge of self and God, the Sphinx is made to bow down, subjugate, and or close down the wild beast it has become as the resurrection of his true self begins to come into existence head first. And so it is with the black man and woman of America, by way of a house, Mars Miriam, from which a light could be lifted up to give guidance to all who would be guided as this world begins to close down. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Temporal is of or relating to time, signs and for seasons and for days and years. And they must serve as luminaries within the wide open extent of the mind of man to shine upon the earth. To shine means to be conspicuously evident or clear. Upon the earth, meaning upon the mentally and or spiritually dead populations of our planet. And God proceeded to make the luminaries, the greater for dominating the day, and the lesser for dominating the night, and also the stars. The flag of Islam, given by Allah God to the lost and found of North America, represents the sun, the moon, and the stars. The sun represents freedom. The moon represents equality. The stars represents justice. So teaches the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Thus God put them in the expanse of the heavens to shine upon the earth, and to dominate by day and by night, and to make a division between the light and the darkness. Then God saw that it was good. Luminaries, being placed within the expanse of the heavens, illustrates the knowledge of such luminaries being placed within the wide open extent of the mind of man. To shine upon the earth means to be conspicuously evident or clear when presenting these truths to the human family of our planet. To dominate by day and by night illustrates the commanding influences that the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad has not only over the rich, the powerful leadership and or scholarship of this present world, but over the poor conditions and or places of our planet, wherein the times and or conditions of gloom, obscurity, ignorance, or despair seems to have no ending in sight. And to make a division between the light and the darkness illustrates the power of the true knowledge of self and God to resurrect the living from the dead. Then God saw that it was good. Implies that an action and or actions were put into place to assure the qualities of our resurrection. And there came to be darkness, and there came to be light, a fourth day. Darkness came by way of white supremacy and slavery here in America. Light came by way of the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. A fourth day refers to the fourth period during which the sun is above the horizon. The fourth day of freedom. The fourth period of the knowledge of self and to let luminaries come to be in the expanse of the heavens means to allow the knowledge of such luminaries to come into existence within the wide open extent of the mind of man. A knowledge that would empower one with the ability to separate the light from the darkness, the living from the dead.